What is up, Tim? Are you on the line still?
Yes, I'm on the line.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah, are we streaming already?
Show as we speak now.
Are we streaming?
No, we're not there yet. Come on.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, I was literally about to throw a party for the fact that we were already going already.
Actually, we might be. I just have to double check.
I was like, man, did we actually,
streamline the process?
actually start exactly when we say we're going to? No, that's way too professional for us.
Oh yeah, we are live. We are live, then.
Well, we are live? Oh,
yes, we are.
Well, you know what? This is the week. If we start the season 0-4, you already know where this season's going.
Listen, you already called me out for you already called me out for major depression already.
Yeah. Anybody that's seen Marco's YouTube videos, part 1 and part 2, is this season over already? Don't watch them. They're depressing as shit. Unless you're probably in the same mindset, which you probably are because you're a Giants fan. But they are depressing as shit. I'm trying to stay positive.
Mm-hmm.
Last week I'm throwing up coaches' videos on our chat board and just, seeing where we could possibly go. Maybe we can turn it around. And you know what? I still believe we need Jim Fossil to come out and saying, this team will make the playoffs. I guarantee it.
Oh, Tim. You and your guarantees.
But you know what? It's I think we finally got the spark. It took, 2.5 games to get there. But actually, I don't know what it is if it was Odell actually scoring, that was like, oh, okay, we're going to start getting excited now and actually start playing. Because as soon as he scored, then Landon Collins got a turnover, which, where have these turnovers been? And then Odell scores again.
Yep, we got a fist salute and a teepee. And
yeah.
those urination.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it was, the dog peeing that actually turned this team around.
Right.
But that's what Philadelphia got lucky at the end of the game. Philadelphia had they should have lost that game, period.
Mm-hmm.
We blew it ourselves. The other 2 games, Giants got beat. But I do want to put out there, I was pumping up Darkwa for the past, probably the whole beginning of the season.
Mm-hmm.
I'm off that train because I remember why I don't like him in the first place. Every time he gets a shot, he gets hurt. Now, I'm not saying that's his fault, but guess what? It's every time he gets a shot. Darkwa, see ya. You know what? Someone else needs to step up. Wayne Gellman, it's your time to shine. You've been inactive, I think, all 3 weeks. It's time for you to step it up and see what we got. See what we got with you. But I'm also on the train of I think Shane Vereen should be playing more. Mm-hmm. Other than when he runs out of bounds, when we're trying to run clock, whatever. I mean, where are you at, Marco? You're a little more positive today?
No. I saw that. Take it for what it's worth, but PFF has Eric Flowers ranked as the number 1 offensive lineman. No pressure on Eli. They ranked him as the number 1 offensive lineman last week.
He was ranked as number 1?
Mm-hmm.
Were they like, it was a sarcastic number 1, or was that a real number 1?
Let me pull it up.
Is he number one in our hearts, or is he actually number one on the field? No, you know what? I'm not. I think the biggest issue with this team is not having a running game, which is on the offensive line, but also on the running backs as well. Because we get a running game, not only does it take pressure off of Eli, because defenders won't be in a pass rush mode every time they see us on the field, but it also takes time off the clock, so the defense doesn't have to be on the field for 80% of the game. And if they're rested, I feel like they can make more plays. And honestly, they're shutting people down. As far as the guy who commented on my thing saying I had to reach to say the defense is playing awesome, what would you like the defense to do?
Mm-hmm.
The defense is, I wish defense stopped the run a little bit more last game? Sure. But they're on the field so much. Defenses get worn down. And Vernon was playing hurt half that game. But I did see that Vernon practiced, so it looks like he's playing this week. And I also saw that BJ Goodson practice as well.
That's another key. That's another key player back. So I was incorrect. This is the PFF only focused about the Giants. He was the highest rated offensive lineman within the Giants last week.
I'm gonna put something out there. I do like Justin Pugh, and I do like Weston Richburg and all that guys. Right. They're not offensive linemen built for a running game. Not the running game we're running.
Too small?
They're small. They're not power. They're not power offensive linemen.
Right.
They're zone blocking offensive linemen. And I really think that's an issue, and that's Giants got to think. Granted, it's not like Giants are going to get rid of these guys. We're going to pay them because what are we going to do? Start from scratch and literally say we have no offensive line again?
Right.
But they're smaller. They're great pass blockers, but when it comes to run blocking, they're small and they get beat up. I saw Justin Pugh got beat up quite a few times at right tackle when it was a running play. Hence the 4th and an inch, and we get blown up in the backfield.
No, absolutely.
But
absolutely.
Go ahead.
There's nothing smaller. They're being drafted out of position, playing at positions where they weren't playing in college, that they're not that comfortable.
Yep.
Constant movement.
To be fair, Pugh was a tackle in college. They just thought he'd be better suited at guard.
Correct. And Flowers was a right tackle, and now he's playing left. And
yeah.
I just want to give a shout out to everyone who's listening. We're streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, Twitch, Mixer. We're streaming pretty heavily. On YouTube, we have Super Chat up. Someone tipped us last week. If you keep that up, that would be crazy. I believe Myron Guyton is going to call in. He says he wants to. He's been tweeting about it. I just texted him before. No answer. It's classic Myron, but we'll stay on hold. We're going to be here forever. It's a 2-hour show.
Yeah, I mean, he might be calling in. That's the plan. If you see his Twitter, you saw he had every intention of calling, but we don't know what's going. We don't know what's happening with him. So
he said he wanted to break some news to
us. Yeah, hopefully he's all good.
Yeah, I hope so too. He is absolutely my favorite guest of all time.
Yeah, he's the man. Now, the ones I don't want to get into the negative of the last game. Honestly, you know what? The list of glory and list of shame. I saw all the comments.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people are snapping. That's why I want to. I want to get away from the way you think and actually go positive and say the season's not over. You know, we lost two division games, which is tough. But, and you all know this, it doesn't make a difference what your record is when you're playing the division game. Anybody in the division can win at any time, and that goes for anybody's division. But we lost both those games on the road. And I'm gonna tell you right now, as far as Detroit's one of the better looking teams playing this year. That defense is a lot better. Defense is a lot better than I ever thought it was. You know, they showed that against Atlanta last week. So it's not just us. But Ben is actually, he made adjustments. Granted, I don't know why it takes you 2.5 games. Did you watch the last Thursday's game, the Rams and 49ers at all?
Parts of it. I want to make a correction. It didn't take him 2.5 games. It took him third quarter, late third quarter, so almost 3 full games.
Okay.
Give me the quarter. Give me that extra quarter.
Yes, that's fine.
I'm pissed at him now.
You know what? You know what bothers me the most? So this is what I brought up Thursday game for. So Sean McVay is a 31-year-old head coach, which is ridiculous in itself. It makes me feel like I didn't do shit with my life. But
right.
But you know, you got Wade Phillips, who's the defense coordinator. He just leaves him alone. He lets Wade run his defense, do whatever. Which again, Ben can do that with Spagnuolo, and just let Spagnuolo run the defense, and I don't even need to talk to you. Just do whatever you got to do. Now, we have an offensive coordinator, which I don't know what the fuck he does during the game if Ben's play calling. But Sean McVay would literally sit down on a cooler and make adjustments on the offensive side of the ball when the defense is on the field.
Okay.
Now, as long as our defense has been on the field, Ben can make plenty of adjustments if he just sat on the cooler and made it, and look through his tablet and just made adjustments like Sean McVay is doing. And he's capable of doing it. He's capable of doing it, and he has the imagination to run a good offense. I remember the first year with Odell, and Ben McAdoo just became our offensive coordinator. He was the only person we had on offense, period, after Victor Cruz got hurt. And he did everything possible to get Odell the ball, like in every creative way possible. And he got Odell the ball plenty of times. My point is, he's creative enough to do it. And it looks like, knock on wood, Brandon Marshall woke up and he's like, oh shit, I'm not retired. And Sterling Shepard, you know what? He actually made yards after the catch. He made a lot of yards after the catch.
Majority came on the one play.
Yes, it was off one play. But I also want to put out there, on both his touchdown catches, and I emphasize they were touchdown catches, one of them should have counted. At least one.
There you go.
And if that was it, if that happened, then we probably would have won the game. Because if we had a touchdown, we would have been up 4, at least. And Philly would have had to go for a touchdown.
Right.
But whatever.
All right, let's see. We got some. Let's test out.
All right.
Test them out. Ready?
Yep.
No sound effects. It's when a comment comes in. I'm going to get to your comments in a minute. I put a rewind button in.
Okay, I like the rewind. What are we using the rewind for? We flashbacking?
Maybe. I was gonna do dream sequence. I don't know. A little Mario Brothers.
Okay.
It's for when,
I'm cool with
for
Mario.
when James keeps going and going and going.
Yes.
That was a little.
He definitely needs it.
We got a bomb. Dropping my mixtape.
That needs to happen when someone gets burned. Bomb just got dropped. Yeah.
I think Davis Webb is going to be playing by week 8.
If Davis Webb is playing by week 8, this is not going to be a Giants fan podcast. It's literally going to be a support group. And that will be our season, and we'll literally be talking about the draft in week 8.
All right, let's get to some of the comments. If you want to leave any comments, you want to call in, that's not a problem. It's 516-453-9383. First up is Sean Fox. What is your prediction on the Giants' record? Well, we're already on 3.
Well, I think I had a 13-win season, so I think we got the streak. We have the streak for my original prediction. You know what? As far as the rest of the season, I would love to, say they're going to win here, they're going to win there. Let's get one win. And then, what comes back to me after I see a one win happen. If one win happens, I think we can start rolling. I think this team's young enough to where that momentum will actually carry for quite a while if we get a win. And I really think we can be that team that no one wants to see.
So this is actually kind of funny because Tampa Bay is coming up. Say we get a win in Tampa Bay.
Okay.
Right. So we're 1-3.
Yeah.
Right after Tampa Bay is the Chargers, I believe.
Okay.
So that would be
the battle of Rivers and Eli. I love it.
Correct. That would be 2 and 3 losses. At 5 games last year, we're only 2 and 3.
I did see someone write that comment, and like I said, we will look at all the comments. I did not, I didn't realize that. We do look at all the comments, but all the hosts don't watch all the videos.
This is true. Hold on. We have a bunch of people on the line. Let's see. Let's go to the first one. What's
That's
up, caller?
some bullshit. I watch all the videos.
First of
all right, hold on. I got another line.
Perfect timing.
What's up? Who's on the next line?
Oh, it's me. Sorry.
Oh, it's me.
Oh,
how are you not ready?
Yeah. First of all,
I was doing homework. I'm in college, man.
That's what's
going on.
When you're your internship,
I'm here now.
This is an internship. Right. You don't do your homework during the internship.
My apologies.
All right,
man.
can I?
All day.
Hey, Captain, what's on your mind?
A few things.
Sure.
Yes, sir.
Can I say a few things?
Yeah.
Yes, please go ahead.
Watching this team makes me angry in a way that the Coughlin teams didn't. When the Coughlin teams underperformed, I always knew that they had
this kid,
the talent, that they were just underperforming.
Mm-hmm.
This team, I feel like between questionable strategic moves in terms of game strategy and, coaching errors and, player mistakes. I was excited that we scored 21 points so quickly, but once the Eagles got the ball back and figured out that they could run the football against us, I knew that they were going to get back and score eventually. There were so many strategic errors throughout the course of the game. A game that we lost by 3 points. And it's so maddening because it's on a different level than the Coughlin era.
Oh, my God!
And I totally agree with you, Justin. It's with Coughlin, it was literally that player didn't execute this week. He'll play better next week.
Right.
Where this, it's like, Ben, what the hell are you doing? Yeah, let's be in shotgun formation when it's 3rd and a fucking inch.
Right.
And then 4th and an inch. We're going to be predictable as hell and try to run right up the middle.
And not only that, but Darkwa was a lot closer to Eli Manning than running backs are in the standard drop back, which made me think, oh, geez, they're going to try to do a quick, handoff up the middle in a dive sort of play. And if I know it's coming from my living room, sure as hell,
100%.
The other team that's paid to figure these things out probably has a pretty good inkling. Ben.
And that's my problem with Ben right now, is exactly what you're saying, is he's not making adjustments quick enough. He finally figured out, oh, you know what, maybe if we make sure Eli gets the ball out of his hands in less than 2 seconds, then he won't get sacked. A little kid could have figured that out. But it took him, 3 games? Whatever.
Here's the problem, though.
Mm-hmm.
That's a large scale strategic issue. And I have my own concerns with that because, that's something that as the head coach, you should work with the GM and you should say, hey, we've actively chosen to spit in the face of the offensive line. And so going into the season, this is our strategy. They spent the first 2 games of the season trying to throw the ball 30 yards down the field with an offensive line that's not up to snuff. They forced Bobby Hart to play 2 weeks ago when he clearly wasn't ready.
Yep.
These are things that, as the head coach of the New York Football Giants, you should know. Here's another thing that you should know if you're the head coach of the New York Football Giants. I'm just going to throw this out there. But I yelled the loudest at my television for the whole game when we had the ball in the fourth quarter with under a minute to go. First of all, Ben, if you want to run an up-tempo offense that's focused on the no-huddle, tell your guys to fucking get set between plays. I'm looking at you, number 88. You did that 2 or 3 times. So now we're pushed back. We're way in our own territory. We have a team history full of the punter not being able to complete a punt in Philadelphia. Parenthetically, let's go through the history of that. Remember when Jeff Fiegels punted in the wrong goddamn direction? Brian Westbrook took it to the house. That was in Philadelphia. I was there. Matt Dodge Matt Dodge, if you're listening, don't call in. We hate you.
No, you know what, Matt? I would love you to call in. It would be amusing.
And now, Odell Jr., Brad Wing, decides to punt a ball, no further than I could punt it. So you know that, and on 2nd and 8, it was 2nd and, 2nd and 18? Something like that?
Yep.
They run with the Eagles having multiple timeouts and knowing that the Eagles are going to need to use them eventually, and that if they get the ball back, they'll use them on offense. They run a 3-yard swing pass to Shane Vereen.
And he runs out of bounds. Yep.
Who steps out of bounds? Stay in bounds, force the defense to use their timeout. That way they don't have it on offense. What are you doing?
Yeah.
And that's from Shane Vereen, who's a veteran. You know what that says to me? This team has not practiced those scenarios, and they have no fucking clue. And that's because the head coach isn't putting a priority on it. I put that 100% on Ben McAdoo, not because of the strategy. Hell, it's Eli's decision to throw that pass. It's Shane Vereen's decision to step out of bounds. But you got to get your guys, you got to run scenarios. And if the bell cow that you're running the offense on is we're going to be fast-paced, we're going to make plays, we're going to be quick to the line of scrimmage, we're going to be quick off the draw, then these errors should not be happening. And if they are, then you suck at implementing that strategy.
That burn was brought to you by Justin on Ben McAdoo.
Thank you. Ben,
and I totally agree.
Please call in.
And I totally agree with you, Justin. You know what? It's a strategy, but it's also a talent evaluation that he's doing. Like, we were all, Perkins guys. We want to see the percolator and all that stuff. But what did you see during the preseason that made you believe he was going to play better during the season?
Nothing.
Exactly. And as far as the offensive line, what did you see during the preseason that you think you didn't have to make any changes? I understand all the people that bitch, we should have got offensive linemen, Okay, it is what it is, but you deal with the talent that you have. You know what? You base that strategy on what you have, and you should know what you have when you're spending day in, day out with these guys. That was my problem. What's going on? Did we just get cut off? Or? Yeah. Marco, what's up? You hit the music and...
Did Marco
just, breaking news, Marco just dropped out.
Did Marco get raptured? Marco, if you're listening, please call in.
Yeah. Marco is here. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We thought the purge happened. I didn't know the purge was tonight.
So super chat is on, and Cruisin' 26, of course, 2 weeks in a row. Threw it down. This guy is amazing. Thank you for all the support.
Cruisin' 26, you are the man. Bleedbigblue, brought to you by Cruisin' 26.
Full-time sponsor.
Speaking of Cruz, that was one of my issues with Ben last year. With Ben, that was one of my things with Ben last year. Going back to the talent evaluation, he kept Victor Cruz on the field. It's almost like he's scared to bench people. He's too cool with them. Maybe the head coaching job is too big for him right now.
I'm going to take it a step further, and I want to dedicate a whole section in a few minutes to Paul Perkins because I have things to say to Paul Perkins and about Paul Perkins. But before
Paul,
we're done roasting Ben McAdoo, does Ben not realize what he's doing to our defense and what it's going to do to our defense long term as the season progresses? Now, listen, we're 0-3, all right?
Mm-hmm.
The division leaders are only 2-1. We're 2 games out.
Right.
We have 4 division games left. This offense has enough talent on it at the wide receiver position to be able to figure some things out. This season, we could still be playing meaningful games in December. But we're losing the time of possession by a full 15 minutes every game. Every single game.
Mm-hmm.
We have a top-notch defense. But any defense that's out there 34, 36, 37 minutes is going to feel it by the end. And we had a division rival in Chip Kelly that did that for 2 seasons, and then they ran his ass out of town. Because you put a defense on the field for 37 minutes, and by game 14, they're gassed. They're not going to be able to stop anybody.
Well, it's not even the game 14. It's by the third, fourth quarter of every game. They're beat. And that's when they will get beat. And it's
so realize
and that's what he's doing to the Giants.
Realize that you have a top-notch defense, and that if you win the time of possession game and keep the defense off the field so that they're ultimately fresh every time that they're on the field, you give yourself a better chance to win the game. Those fast tempos offense work if the offense is effective, a la Jim Kelly's run and shoot, a la the New England Patriots who know what they're doing offensively. But Ben McAdoo doesn't know his hair gel from friggin' I don't know what. I don't even know what I want to say. He's so befuddled that I don't even have a diss to give him. But this offense, if it's not effective, you got to scrap the run and gun and put your defense in a better position. This defense can carry you. They're not the 2001 Ravens, but in today's NFL, they would work.
Oh, I totally agree with you, Justin. And we talked about that a little bit in the beginning. Was the main thing, this team would get fixed if we figured out how to damn run the ball. You would take time off the clock. You would have their defense wouldn't be out there all day. And you would actually take pressure off the passing game. We just need to have someone run the ball, at least a threat of running. When Paul Perkins is out there, there's no threat. Darkwood had a couple good runs, and what happened? Now he's hurt. That's why I was never a Darkwood guy in the first place.
He's injury prone.
Yeah, he's done it for 3 years. See ya. I'm over you, Darkwood.
He's injury prone. The problem with Paul Perkins, I realized it on Sunday. I don't know why it took me this long to figure it out. But I finally realized it.
Is your name Ben McAdoo?
Yeah, it might be.
Oh.
I might be Ben
Yeah, can I
McAdoo's
get a
long-lost son. Ben,
That was
you should take a
wow,
paternity
Michael.
test.
That wasn't even a bomb.
I received the text back from Myron.
All right.
He's calling in.
What's it?
What do you mean it's gone?
He's calling in. This is him.
Nice.
Welcome back, champ.
Hey,
Champ on
Myron.
the phone? How you guys doing?
Yeah. How are you is the better question.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Yeah, it's been a while, man. It's been a while.
So let's catch up.
All right.
What's been going on? How are you feeling?
Yeah.
Feeling good, man. Feeling good. Had to do some rehab here.
Mm-hmm.
Had a couple of surgeries last year and had some flare-ups, so things I had to take care of. A couple of cognitive things that I've been working on as well. But doing well, man. Doing better than the Giants.
Yeah.
0-3.
Who would have thought that, man? I mean, all the pickups and 0-3. I mean, that's still sputtering on offense. Just surprising, man. Very surprising.
Myra, you could speak to the defense. Is the defense going to start resenting the offense if they're on the field 85% of the game? And the defense is doing their job.
Yeah.
I mean, great. They're not getting turnovers, but defense is doing their job.
Yeah. Well, you can never do enough on defense. The one thing I guarantee the coaches are telling them, hey, guys, if we're not getting production on the offensive side, we're going to score ourselves. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's resentment, but it's going to be like, hey, man, if we just got to take it into our hands to put points on the board, then that's what we got to do. I mean, because you got to think now, I played on a team that, we didn't get a lot of production out of the offense, but we got enough to win. I mean, we're more ball control. So for ourselves, we've always put the game on the defense's shoulders. Anytime you got a lead, it's up to you guys. Hey, you got to win the game. And that's kind of the mentality that this defense got to take, saying, hey, if these guys can give us 14, 21 points, we should win. We always say if the offense don't score, then it's a 0-0 game. They don't win. And that's the edit.
And that's one of the issues now is the fact that we can't be ball control. They have no running game whatsoever. And literally, it's like a minute goes off the clock and the defense goes back on the field.
Yeah. And that puts a lot on your defense. No matter how good your defense is, I mean, you're going to get tired. I watched the Patriots-Texans game, and, I mean, they were playing great. And you look at the end of the game, everybody talking about how well Brady looked that game. The defense was tired, and that's the same thing that the Giants are having, in the situations where you really need for them to step up. I mean, you wind it, and you just need a play here or there for the offense. Again, they ain't got to score 40 points a game, but give us a chance to take a breather. That's all we ask, that we can have a series where we can get over and catch our breath, so we can get back out there and we can be at peak performance. But they're not getting that, which I don't know why. I just don't, and I agree with the running game. We got to have a running game that control the ball. You control the clock. You can say, okay, hey guys, we want to take this third quarter here like we did in the Super Bowl. And you take it and you say, hey, we're gonna keep the ball for 9 minutes. That might be asking them a lot, 9 minutes. But just, for a period of time where you can say, hey, we know we're going to drive down, you get a couple first downs. But with this offense, it's not an offense that I've ever liked. I mean, it's feast or famine, and right now, it's just not clicking.
In your expertise, in your professional opinion, asking is, how do we fix this running game with the offensive line that we have?
Well, I think they just need to change the formation. You know, we call it big personnel. It's when you bring in 2 tight ends and, you know, you're running 2 backs and you're just leading it up in there. And I think they got to have some formations like that where they can bring in big personnel and just pound it at them. It just doesn't seem like we do that a lot. And I don't know why. I mean, maybe they just don't trust it.
I agree totally with you with that one because, honestly, we have the tight ends, and actually the tight ends we have this year are playmakers. So, you know, they have to account for them even when we are in that big formation.
Yeah, and I
ahead,
found myself asking on Sunday, like, you know, we spent money on Red Ellison to bring him in to be, you know, the blocking tight end that was going to help balance out the line, play some fullback, H-back. And I feel like he's hardly in the game.
Yeah.
We're always, I mean, if you bring in a guy like Red Ellison, don't you bring him in so that you can put him in on goal line packages? When we have the ball first and goal from inside the 5, to me, Red Ellison should be on the field each one of those plays, and instead, 3 out of those 4 plays were back in the gun, throwing it to Sterling Shepard. And, you know, you could make all the arguments that you want about whether that play on 3rd down was a touchdown or not. I happen to think that it was, but the refs called that it was not. And I think that Red Ellison, you know, with his skill set, can be an asset on the goal line, but he's nowhere to be found at all.
I would take it a step further, though. I would say not only Red Ellison, but you still have Jarrell Adams, who's played well as well. You know, you can go almost 3 tight ends, especially on the goal line. I couldn't stand when it was 3rd and an inch, and we're in shotgun formation. That makes no sense whatsoever to me.
Myron, if you're on defense and you 3rd and an inch and they're in shotgun, what are you thinking?
Oh, you thinking you can pin your ears back? I mean, it's easy for your D line. You know, I mean, where you're worried is when they do have big personnel there, and they got the option of they're going to pound it at you or they're going to do play action. You know, and as a safety, you're going to hesitate because, you know, you just can't take a chance to stick it up there. But when you see them in shotgun, I mean, you say, hey, you know, if they can't run a draw, then, I mean, they got to throw the ball. And we feel like anything inside, when you get in the red zone, I mean, the closer you get to the end zone, the harder it is to throw the ball. I mean, it's just not enough area down there, so we love teams that try to throw the ball on us in the red area. But it's just a scheme. It seems like they want to run. They're going to force themselves to run that scheme regardless. You know, I mean, you look at every team in the NFL, usually whatever position you're on the field dictates what plays you run. But the Giants are trying to dictate what plays they run just because of their coaching scheme. It's not, hey, when the 5-yard line and we know, hey, we're going to come up with big and we're going to pound it in there. I mean, it's like, nah, we're going to throw this ball regardless. We're going to make this work, and it's not working.
Yeah, you couldn't say it any better. Honestly, I mean, that's really what I think Ben McAdoo is doing right now is he's almost making the players, you know, fit into his scheme instead of fitting the scheme to the players he has. You know, and to the talent they got. You know, and how easy is it to play defense when you know the team's going to pass 90% of the time and you're not really even worried about them running if they do run?
They're going to make it easy. They make it easy for the defense. So.
And, I mean, as far as, like, taking the energy out of you on defense, is it a running play or a pass play take less energy out of you.
Well, I guess, as a whole, it's a run play.
Mm-hmm.
Because, again, it's more physical. It's physical. I mean, you got guys that's pounding it out. I'll give you an example. And the Cowboys, I look at the Cowboys' offensive line. I mean, these guys just wear you down. And that's what we did back in the day. We wear you down in the fourth quarter, we're going to win the game. It's all about endurance. Can you withstand this for 4 quarters? You might shut it down for 3 quarters, but the fourth quarter, we're just going to wear you down. Wear it out, and here is wearing down the defense, which is our own defense, because the defense is on the field just too long.
100%. 100%.
So,
do you think they can turn it around, Myron?
Marco's been really depressing. If you watch any of his videos, Myron, he's already thrown in the towel. Is the season over? It's 0-3.
Man, we bounced back. We're known. See, that's what you can't give up with these guys. They're known to, when they get in a hole, to make a run. And that's what I'm waiting for. But we can't afford to get it deep in this hole. I mean, when you're playing division games, you just can't afford to lose those division games. So we got to start playing, man. I mean, we got to get on this quick. And the Giants are capable of it. You look at the roster. I mean, you say, man, they got the players. I'm telling you, you couldn't have told me this year with the tight ends that they have that, hey, they got that threat down the middle now. I mean, you got Marshall. I mean, hey, how are they going to cover this offense? I mean, they got to sit there in the film room saying, man, how are we going to cover these guys? Well, man, it's like they don't have to. I mean, we're just not getting it done, but we're capable, and they're going to get it done. I mean, things are going to change. The defense is just too good to not go over there and say, hey, guys, tell us what you need us to do that we're not doing so far, to help you guys. But we got to get this done. And they should be having a team meeting. Somebody should be standing up, the leaders right now at 0-3, saying, hey, guys, we got to sit down and talk about this. And I guarantee you somebody's doing that because they got some real strong players over there.
That brings up a thing I was thinking about today. We brought up, at least in some of the videos, was we needed that spark. We need somebody to, get this team excited. And it didn't seem like this team was excited at all until Odell finally scored. Who was that players when you were playing that if they made a play or they could just get the team hype? Who's those players for you? It seems like Landon Collins and Odell are pretty much the Giants. If they aren't making plays, then the team doesn't get pumped up.
Well, we knew, again, we were a defensive team first and a ball control team. So we knew when O.J. Anderson got out there and started pounding it, and he was feeling good, or Rodney Hampton, or even Lewis Tillman, got out there and we saw these guys, make a big play. Just give some momentum for the offense, because we had guys like Phil, who was, when I got there, was experienced. He had been there years, so we had an experienced team. These guys knew how to win, and it's definitely a momentum game, and you got to try to keep the momentum on your side. So when our offense got out there and just start pounding it, in a prime example, the Super Bowl. Buffalo was kind of handing it to us. They controlled the pace of the game until we came out in the third quarter, and we took control of the game. O.J. and the guys just pounded it at him. I remember O.J., the little safety for Buffalo. O.J. picked him up. Off the ground, and the defense got fired up. Like, oh, man, that's what I'm talking. It just and it works. You can say whatever you want to say about Beckham. There's guys that think that sometimes he gets overly excited, but at least the kid gets excited. He gets excited, man. You don't want to get excited when he calls you, yards, but man, the kid just, he loves to play, and it's contagious. And man, we just got to get on fire. I mean, he's contagious.
You know what? It excited me
Eli,
so much. And tell me if you guys saw that. And I'm sure you're about to bring it up, Marco. Is Eli actually jumped up and got excited over a touchdown?
I know. Basically, Eli doesn't have a pulse half the time I'm watching him. It drives me crazy.
Me too. I can't stand it, man. I watch it all the time. Oh, it kills me.
He gives like the 1/5 pump, and that's it. That's like his emotional high of like the whole year. I'm like, oh, you got to be kidding me.
But you know what? I don't know what was it, the Sterling Shepard play or was it the Odell play that I literally saw Odell like, chest bump somebody or do something. I was like, oh my God, Odell or Eli's actually showing emotion.
Well,
I watch this guy all
the
time, and he even just go stand by himself. I'm like, man, go with the team and give him some high fives. Man, don't go over there by yourself. And I just don't understand it, man. I mean, oh gosh, they get pumped up.
He's a different cat, and and Odell is a little strange bird as well. He's on the other end of the spectrum.
Right.
Yeah.
I'll say this as well. I mean, Odell, we know that, everybody said the right things. He's getting paid at some point and all those things. But, Sunday's performance, that right there is the proof positive that he's getting paid because he in 2 plays injected life into an offense that was basically a bunch of zombies for 2.5 quarters prior to that.
2.5 quarters, that's like 2 games.
Or 2.5 games,
quarters.
rather. I'm sorry. 2.5 games prior to that. Apologize. And that sort of ability, that sort of talent to be able to use your playmaking ability and your talent to inspire an entire offensive unit, that's rare. That's rare. And, you can be upset about him about the celebration and about the, the brashness and the talking on the sidelines and whatever. But to me, that's the sort of thing that team needed. They needed somebody to breathe a spark of fire into them, and he's the only one that can do it.
Well, that's he's the heartbeat of the team, and you literally saw it right after he scored a touchdown. And our defense has played great, but they aren't turning the ball over. As soon as the next series happened, Landon Collins stripped the player. Everybody just started getting excited, and all of a sudden we actually look like the team that we should have been from the beginning. Scoring 21 points quick.
Yeah.
And, that's why this team's frustrating. And I really think it has nothing to do with Ben McAdoo. What do you think about Ben McAdoo, Myron, as far as how he's coaching?
I don't know a lot about him, but I have watched him closely the last couple of years. He seemed very calm.
Mm-hmm.
Again, he sticks to his game plan. And, I just don't know. Emotionally, I'm used to the old school guys that, are up in your face, and when it's good, they fire it up. When it's bad, they let you know. It's hard to get a good read on him.
Mm-hmm.
I've never been to one of his practices, so I don't know how intense his practices are. But I don't feel like the players feel the pressure of we got to perform day in and day out, regardless if you have injuries. If you don't feel like you can give 100%, then let's get somebody that can. I mean, that was the kind of pressure we had on us. I mean, it was good pressure. It wasn't necessarily bad pressure. It was like, hey, guys, we have to be 100%. Parcells would always tell us, practice doesn't make perfect. Perfect practice makes perfect. Son, if you don't do it at practice, make the plays at practice, what makes me think you're going to make them in the game? There's no way I'm going to put you on the field if you're not making the plays at practice. I mean, he's 100% right. I mean, because you got guys out there that go through the motion that don't show any intensity at practice, and then they go in a game and you expect them just to turn it on. Very few guys can do that. Now Lawrence Taylor could do that. I mean, Lawrence Taylor ain't got to even show it for practice. Believe me. I mean, the guy he's just built that way. I mean, it's unbelievable. But there's very few guys. I couldn't do that. I was a practice guy. I had to go out and I had to get it right at practice, and I practiced with intensity, and I played with intensity. I wasn't a guy to just go out there and kind of loaf around and game time I turn it on. That wasn't me, And most guys are not like that. So I don't know, that much about McAdoo. I do have a question for you guys. You guys might already talked about this, probably have. I mean, so what's the deal on Flowers up there? What are you hearing? Because you hear a lot on television. You hear a lot in the papers around here, about this Flowers thing. And should he be playing the left side? Should they, what should they do? I mean, what are they saying about that?
Who wants to take the first one? I mean, I can take it if you want.
I'll take it.
Go ahead, Marco.
You can't go by last week's game because technically it all seemed solid. But Eli was getting the ball out of his hand in about 1 second. So there was technically no pressure on him, but they didn't have a shot. All the routes were short routes, get it out, and let Eli survive. So how are you going to judge a guy? And we have no running game. 0. So do you move him to right tackle? Who knows? They seem stubborn that they don't want to.
But, you can say all you want that the answer to that is running those shorter routes. But then the problem's compounded because defenses are able to jump routes. If you know the ball's coming out in 2 seconds, I mean, you can pretty much bet your bottom dollar that we're running a slant. So unless your wide receiver, wins every time, that's an easy route to jump. And that's exactly what happened on Eli's second interception. I think on the first interception to Marshall, I think that Eli thought it was a free play. And I think he was mistaken. But the second one, I mean...
And you know what I want to say about that play? Marshall could have went up and got it.
Oh, absolutely.
He quit on the play. That's one thing that Plexco did when he played with Eli. Eli would throw it up, and sometimes he shouldn't have thrown up, but Plexco would go up and get it. Brandon Marshall has not done that yet, and he's capable of doing that. But
what I'm saying is that going back to Myron's original point about Flowers is Eli's second interception is a perfect example of what the offensive line's play and Flowers' play forces our offense to do from a schematic standpoint that gives defenses an advantage because they can jump routes. We're running that slant 60% of the time.
Well, this is my other thing with Ben. The problem with Ben is, obviously Flowers is, I guess, our best choice at left tackle, at least from what we know or what they see. Fine.
Right.
But he's struggling. You're going to leave him on the island and not, have him at least a running back chipping, or or somebody just helping him. Keep a tight end back if you have to. Whatever.
They put 2 tight end sets and then they both go out in the route. I'm like, what the hell is that?
Right.
Like, where are you going? Stay there. This guy's getting beat like a drum.
Chip somebody.
Yeah.
Myron, what are your sources telling you?
Ask again.
What have you heard about Flowers? Have you heard anything?
Oh no, just the same thing. They just feel like people just feel like that he'd be more productive on the right side.
I agree with it. I think
he has
he should
potential
be the right tackle.
to. I mean, yeah, he's a good player, just not in that left position. They just feel like he's better on the right side. Why they fighting to just keep him on the left side? What's the deal with that? Are there other weaknesses that we just don't know about? Is the reason why he's there. And I just wonder, because I know it got to be just a lot of pressure on him. Because once a player get down, man, it's hard to pull him back up. Man, you can say all you want. Yeah, you can say all you want, but man, you only can get beat down so much and lose your confidence. And that was my fear with him, was that he was losing his confidence. But maybe after the Philly game, it helps him get some confidence back. I mean, because it does help a quarterback. Hey, when you got a quarterback that's missing some receivers, what do? You shorten the passes, short, quick stuff to help build his confidence. So maybe that will help build his confidence some. The same thing with Brandon Marshall there. I have no idea. I've never seen him so subdued. I mean, this is a guy that used to just make plays and love to get excited. He just disappears. Seemed like on this Giants roster. The chances he's had to make some plays, he haven't made them, which is shocking. I'm thinking, man, it's just surprising to see the offense, the way it is.
Do you think Father Time caught up to him or what?
But if it has, man, it just seemed like it just happened so quick. But the balls he's missing balls. Father Time shouldn't.
Yes, shouldn't take his hands away.
Them.
Right.
Right. He's just missing balls.
The
Brandon Marshall play.
I don't think it's because he's older, because he's getting open. It's not like he can't get open or he can't separate. He's separating. He's just like he's in his own head, it seems.
Well, you know what? It's Eli's fault for hitting him in the hands with the ball.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, those drops to me, drops are drops. They're irritating and they're annoying, and we wish they didn't happen. But there's not much you can do about a drop. But the play that sticks out to me, that signifies the Brandon Marshall problem, that something's just a little off. He ran a slant, I think it was in the second half, against Detroit, down in the red zone. And he caught it at like the 3, and he had a chance to break like an ankle tackle and take it the rest of the way. And the ankle tackle brought him down. And I'm thinking, this is Brandon Marshall. He's 6'4", 220 pounds, and he can't break an ankle tackle?
I thought the exact same thing when I saw that play.
You know what I mean?
It's Achilles.
I don't know.
You know what? It's
Myron's the only one who got that joke. So, Myron,
I got it. I did get it.
Myron, fill us in what's going on with you. You still in the Burger King game?
No, man. I'm out of the Burger King game. I'm like I say, man. People ask me what do I do for a living now, and I tell them I visit doctors. That seems like it's true. So like I'm in the doctor's office at least every week. I've been down at a facility called Brooks Rehab. It's a facility that deals with. It's I'm trying to explain this in a way that it's a rehab facility that deals with pain and cognitive issues, and you're down. You're with them for 5 weeks, a minimum of 5 weeks. This is actually my 6th week, so they extended my program a little week. I'm still in Jacksonville now, and I'm in Jacksonville, Florida, to speak to you guys in a hotel room. They put you up at this hotel, man, and every day from 9 to 5, you're at the hospital, and you start off meeting with psychologists. You end up with physical therapists. Like today, my day was, we started the day, you're in the classroom learning about pain management and how to deal with your injuries. You leave there, you go into stretch and warm up, then you start working out and working on things to help strengthen your injuries. Then you go to the pool for an hour and you work on those injuries. And you go to lunch, come from lunch, and then I go sit down with a cognitive lady to help me with, so I have issues, small issues like with reading. I kind of gotten to the point where it's hard for me to focus. I mean, for guys that can go read a book, I can't, read a book. It's funny, I can't read the newspaper any longer. I struggle with being able to focus just on a paragraph. I can read a 4-sentence paragraph, and you ask me, hey, what did you get from that paragraph, and I can't tell you. So we're working on techniques to help me get a better understanding from what I read, because I notice what I do, I can retain. For instance, if you and I go out and you show me some moves on the basketball court, I'm quite sure you guys got some moves on the basketball court, and I go out and you say, hey, guy, we want you to box out. I remember that. Now, if you go draw it up on the board and say, hey, this is what I want you to do, same things, I have no idea what you just went over with me, and which is hard when, you're a franchisee for a long period of time, and that's what I got paid to do back when I played was to remember schemes. So just working on things like that, and I've been dealing with this. I was diagnosed back in 2006 with post-concussion syndrome. It was a period of my life where, I got really depressed, and and I wouldn't talk to people about it. Well, now I'm really open with it because I talk to, the more I go visit the Giants that I sit down with, with some of my peers, and I started talking to them and telling them what I've gone through, and I find out more that these guys have gone through the same things. The only difference is they haven't talked to anybody.
Right.
And I dealt with that for a while when I wouldn't talk to anybody about it, because you figure you're kind of embarrassed and you don't want to face it because you don't want to say it's true. Some of it just getting old. I mean, you get older. You just have to deal with things when you get older. And some of it is based on football. I was a safety. I was considered a hard-hitting safety. And I tell you what, the most fear that ever have come over me, ever, and believe me, I've played against Jerry Rice and guys that, I should have been terrified of. And believe me, I had a little fear with Barry Sanders. Not a lot, but a little, because, this guy juke you to death. But the most fear that ever came over me is when Dave Dorson committed suicide. Because I already had a thought in the back of my mind, what if this stuff started to affect me? Because I was having some little issues, And when he committed suicide, I had just talked to Dave. I just played golf for Dave in a celebrity golf tournament. I'm thinking, man, Dave, what? I mean, Dave used to be a supplier for Burger King. He supplied sausage to us. He was our largest minority vendor in the Burger King system. That's how much sausage this man used to supply to the system. He went out and had he had a $100 million business. I mean, and then this guy was gone, and they saying that he had CTE, and that scared me. And Andre Waters, another safety that played when I played. He killed himself. He had CTE, and then all of a sudden, I'm thinking, uh-oh. I hope this is not an issue that safeties are starting to show up, because, I think more safeties out of any other position at that time were committing suicide. And you look at it, it's mostly all defensive players. I mean, you look at Junior Seau, you're like, oh, gosh. So I started having issues then. And this is my third time down here at this facility. Not my first, and every time I come down for at least 5 weeks. But I tell you what, Brooks is a great facility. I think that all players should have access to this facility. And the reason why I have access is because of the NFL. Now, I can tell you right now, nobody's aware of what I'm telling you guys, and I know there's probably people listening. I haven't talked to the Giants about this. I haven't talked to anybody about my situation. Matter of fact, I was supposed to be in New York for a training camp. I didn't go because I had to be here. And I didn't tell them why. I just told them I just couldn't make it, because I didn't think I wanted to share what was going on in my life with everybody. But after being here for a while and talking to the counselors and stuff, I feel very secure with my situation. And plus it helps me when people around me kind of know, because I have a tendency now, if you guys sit there and talk to me, I have a tendency to close my eyes a lot. But that's a technique that I use. It helps me concentrate a lot more. It was embarrassing at first because people are like, man, why you close your eyes so much? Where now I don't care. If that's what it takes for me to be able to express myself, so be it, But the more people that know about it, then they're not surprised when they see it, hey, this is Guy talking. I could be talking to you, man, in the middle of a conversation. Hell, I forget what I'm talking about, and I'm the one that brought the conversation up. But don't get me wrong now. I'm in a good place. I mean, it's not to the point where I think I should be overly concerned about it. It's just at a place where I needed some help, just dealing with it, and so that's where I'm at. And that's what I do now. I try to better myself. I try to work out because that's a big part of it, is making sure that you're in top shape and that you're taking care of your body. You got to take care of your body. My agent always said, man, you got to take care of your body as if you're going to live forever. That's the way you should live. Don't live and say, oh, man, life expectancy is only 75 for safety. Or my dad only lived to be 71. I probably won't. Well, you live as if you're gonna. You take care of it. You're gonna live forever. And that's the way I approach life now. I try to enjoy myself. I try to enjoy my family. I enjoy my friends. And I feel bad that I wasn't speaking to you guys some nights, but there were things going on with me that, that I couldn't share or that I didn't want to share at that time. That prevented me from doing the things that I enjoy. And now, I can talk to you guys. I mean, even though you guys are downers sometimes, you guys bring me down. But,
that's just Marco.
It's usually Jay.
We're glad you're doing better, man. Obviously, we're always looking out for you. And also, is there like a support group in NFL for you? Like post concussion. Obviously, NFL, you said helping you guys out, but is there like a support group for you guys all to talk since everybody's having an issue?
They have a 1-800 number for guys that are having issues to the point where I guess they think they hurt themselves. They offer assistance. But no, there isn't a support group. I think that's the one thing that they should do is say, hey, let's see if we can get these guys together. Because I'm telling you, it's hard to discuss among people that didn't do what you did, because you try to explain it. And that's one good thing about being here, because I'm sitting there with guys that are going through the same thing that I'm going through. And that's the best treatment here is we're able to talk, because you try to explain it to someone that's not going through it, and they say, oh, man, I understand. No, you don't understand. You don't understand when you wake up and it seems like you're shaking your head all day, because you can't get focused. You're like, oh, it's just something in my eye, and you can. I mean, you look at a computer screen some days, man. It's to the point where I can't drive. I mean, it's that cloudy for me some days, Yeah. But then there's other days where, man, hey, it's great. I mean, my eye doctor. I have to visit my eye doctor every 6 months. I'm partially blind in my right eye from head trauma. But we look at it to make sure it doesn't get worse. But I think if you had a group that you guys can get together every so often, these guys just can really express themselves. Because like I told you, when I get with these guys and we start discussing this, almost every guy that I talk to have gone through something similar. But the majority of them have not done anything about it. They don't even know that places like Brooks even exist. And now the NFL, they weren't the one that found Brooks for me. And the reason, when I say the NFL helps, I mean as far as paying for it, you know, the workers comp and everything, you know, they take care of all the fees, but you have to get it approved, and you have to have a doctor that's familiar with this program. But I think this is a program. I mean, I always tell all my friends, man, hey, see if they'll let you come down here, because it goes through. I mean, they go through everything. I mean, they have everything from just general doctors all the way down to psychiatrists. I mean, they have neurologists. I mean, everything is right here in one place, and you don't leave here. I mean, this is your focus for 5 weeks, and I guarantee you when you come in, no matter how depressed or how much pain you're going through, when you leave, you'll feel like, man, how come I didn't do this years ago? I mean, it's I mean, Brooks Rehab is a great facility. You know, if you get a chance, look at Brooks Rehab. Jacksonville, Florida is the one that I attend, and I think there's only like 2 facilities like this in the country. I think there's one in Alabama, and it's not. They don't go by Brooks in Alabama, different name, and Brooks down here in Jacksonville.
Myron, you want to take a call? I see a few people calling in.
Yeah, let's do it, man.
Hey, what's up, Paul? You're on with Myron Guyton.
Hi, guys. This is Bill. I'm actually calling from the west side of Las Vegas.
Hey, what's up? How are you?
Hey, it is an absolute honor to speak to a Super Bowl champ.
I didn't win a Super Bowl. What are you talking about?
No kidding. Hey, listen, with all the stuff that's going on with taking the knees and the presidential situation and the disasters that we're seeing and all the stuff we're talking about with CTE and all this kind of stuff, which, by the way, nobody ever gives OJ that brain disease, concussion type stuff. He's the only one that I guess it didn't affect. But what I do want to ask him is it going to be hard for your guest to prove that he had that disease or that he had that injury, the CTE, considering that he did go to college at Eastern Kentucky University, which most of the people there would be brain dead or half retarded anyways? I mean, don't you have to be a pretty big fucking moron?
Oh, gosh.
They coming at you, Myron.
Did we disconnect that gentleman?
Should I put him back
Yeah.
on? No, I just have him on. I have him on mute. I didn't hang up.
No. You know, let's start with this taking the knee deal. First of all, I think everybody just needs to relax about it. I mean, it's not the end of the world. We have other issues that are going on. And as far as respecting the flag, I think we as individuals have always respected the flag. I know I have ever since. I mean, that's the first thing they teach you when you start grade school. So everybody understand the significance of the flag. I think the way this got started with Colin was his approach to make a stand for something he felt strongly about, not to oppose the flag in any way, and I think he expressed that. What happened this past weekend, I think, was more solidarity among teams, players, because it is a fraternity where we always feel like if you mess with one, you mess with everyone. The thing that I hate is kind of what Shannon Sharp talked about, that was the president saying SOB. Is that what made everybody stand up and finally recognize why the gentleman took the knee, why Colin took the knee? And it's sad if that's the case, because if they were going to back or to make light of what Colin was saying, then this should have been done a year and a half ago. It shouldn't have been done just because someone said SOB, because there's a lot of other things out there that gets your attention that we should be taking notice of, not just because of SOB. I mean, hell, if that was the case, then I mean, I've been called some stuff by my coaches that, I mean, I probably would have took a stance a long time ago. But, you know, everybody stands for something. My dad always said, if you don't stand for something, you fall for anything. You know, it's just, you know, how do you take your stance? I mean, you just got to be very careful, especially this day and age because of social media, what you do and how you do it, because people can take things totally different than the way you intended it. And I don't think that he intended it for it to be, he wanted the focus to be on something totally different than what it's on. You know, he did not want it to be on the flag. He wanted to be on individuals, African-American men, that were being killed for just stupid issues, just stupid reasons. So I hate that it turned into what it did, but I do think that we all got to remember we're all Americans, and you know you got to take care of your brother, man. I mean, this is a big world out here, and there's a lot of things going on, and I think we shouldn't be getting that uptight about this SOB. But you take that and $2 and you might be to get a cup of coffee. So, and I don't appreciate you talking about East Kentucky, but I'm gonna let that go, being that I'm down here at rehab. So.
Yeah, he was trying to throw. He was trying to throw a little bit.
The song of my game, man. You know, and we're not doing well either. At least we did. Hey, East Kentucky won one game. I think they're 1-2. So.
But to be fair, Myron. Myron, when's the last time you guys were good?
Who?
Eastern Kentucky. When's the last time you guys were good?
3 years ago. 3 years ago, they actually they were real good. I mean, we almost knocked off UK the last couple of years, but we got a new coach, a young kid. And I say kid because he's younger than me. And they're trying to move up to Division One. They're 1AA, and you know it's always a struggle when you're trying to make that jump and you're trying to compete for the same kids that these Division One guys are competing against. You know, so he's got his work cut out, man. I tell him that. You know, but as far as the facilities and stuff, man, the facilities are looking good. You know, so they we'll get there, man. We'll get there. Don't count us out. You know, don't count us out.
Oh, I got some sad news.
What's that?
Hugh Hefner passed away just now.
Really?
Oh. I can't imagine life without Hugh Hefner. Rest in peace, Hugh.
Yeah. What was he in? He was in his 90s, wasn't he?
91.
We're breaking news on the Bleedbigblue podcast.
Breaking news. For all you millennials,
we're the
that are
first
listening,
major news
they
outlet
have no
to
idea
run
who
with
he
that.
is.
I know. You hear that? Oh man, breaking news.
Yep. Yeah, we're getting a little more professional, Byron. At least we're attempting.
Stepping up the game, huh? Oh gosh, that's funny.
Yeah, all these millennials don't understand that. You know, we had to look at Playboys growing up. You didn't have it on your computer anytime you wanted.
What the internet was it? Hey, you're laughing, hey. That's true though. I'm telling you, that's a big deal. You know, hey, you go to especially you go to your friend's house and their dad collect those. You're like, hey man, look what John has.
Yep. That was gold. That was gold. You had your friend had it. That was gold.
Myron, how many Playboys were running around in the locker room?
I could hear you.
How many Playboy magazines? Couldn't hear me, huh? Didn't come through.
No, didn't come through. Nope. I hear you. Hey, man,
Static, breaking up.
Who stays in the locker room, man? We don't talk about stuff like that. I mean, geez, you really trying to see? You guys are always trying to get me in trouble, man. You know, I don't know. I don't know. No names, no people. I don't know. We don't. You know. Hey, we focused, man. Focused. Playboy magazine. It wasn't Playboy, by the way. It wasn't Playboy. It's Hustler. But anyway, that's a whole other story. Oh gosh.
Myron, have you heard from Leonard Marshall?
Oh gosh, I talked to Leonard's brother. Leonard, I saw Leonard last season. I want to say it was the Detroit game when the Giants played Detroit at home, and that was the last time. And I know that he was going through some
similar stuff, yeah.
Yeah, but that was the last time that we talked. And that's the thing that I'm talking about. You know, you have no idea where and what's going on with your ex-teammates. You know, you just know you don't hear from them. Now, they got a thing that they're starting now. The NFL is starting something now. And they're saying that if you should reach out, players that you haven't heard from in a certain amount of time, and I think they're saying a year, that's where they started at, then they're asking for us to reach out to those guys, just like the players that hadn't heard from me in a year, to reach out and just say hello, let's see what they're doing. And I think that's a great start because the guys that probably need your help the most, you know, you're not hearing from. I mean, they're not going knocking on doors and say, hey, man, you know, help me out. I mean, it's the opposite. It's like, you know, believe me, I could tell you some stories about me where, I'll tell you one. I mean, when I was my Burger Kings, and this was right at the beginning of, I knew that something was going on. I was at a time where, man, you know, business was good. I mean, life was good, but I was having these issues with, man, just. I mean, I wasn't there. I wasn't sure. I said my doctor was going through all these tests, and man, I said, man, I feel like I'm hurting, and I would stay in my home 2 weeks at a time without even visiting any of my restaurants. I mean, in my pajamas. I mean, I would never put clothes on. I mean, I'm talking about 2 weeks at a time, and people were like, man, where's Guy? He's not visiting his restaurants. You know, my managers, and when my phone rang, I would go absolutely nuts. You know, who in the hell is calling me, and, you know, why are they calling me? You know, I'm running a business. I got 7 restaurants. They got to call somebody. You are the franchisee. But, I mean, and I know it had to be difficult for my wife because, I mean, I was not pleasant to be around, but I had no idea why, you know, what's going on. And then I flew out to California and I started going through all these tests, and we started to come up with some answers. And once we did that, I've been seeing psychologists and a psychiatrist ever since 2006. And my psychologist, I talk to every week, at least, if not 2 days a week. You know, I used to go in every 2 weeks. We have a seminar. We call it a session. So it's not a seminar because it's a session. We actually sit there and we all talk. And I live outside of Tallahassee, Florida. We have this group session in Atlanta, Georgia, which is 250 miles each way. I drive there once every 2 weeks. That's how important this is to me, and I've been doing this since 2006, 2007. Once every 2 weeks I do this. I talk to this guy every Tuesday and every Friday. That's been a part of my life. But, you know, to me, it's like anything else you do. It just becomes a part of your life. It doesn't seem like extra work to do it. But the NFL has taken care of the expenses for me to be able to do that. Without that, you know, it would have been very expensive. Time, I mean, I have the time, so that doesn't bother me. And that's what I have to do. But I'm telling you, it helps you out a lot, and I hope that's where this goes with the NFL. If you start contacting your friends that you hadn't talked to in a year, and hope you can find out about it, and then you can tell them about programs such that I went through that, hey, even if you're not talking to your teammates, and at least talk to this guy. Talk to somebody, man. I mean, and that's not just athletes, just people in general. I mean, man, sometimes it's good. I mean, I know there's been times where you guys, might be going through something. You call your buddy up, he's able to relate. You guys start talking, and you feel better because you got somebody to share it with. And that's all it is. Just call and talk to somebody, man, just so you can get that release. I mean, every time I call into the show, I get to release myself with you guys, man. I mean, this is therapy. I'm loving it,
We appreciate it.
Sometimes after talking to you guys, I have to go to therapy, but I feel different.
That's when Jason's on.
Yeah.
First,
don't throw James under the bus, Marco. He's seen your videos.
Myron, where you're at now, it's mainly for professional players, or it's open to like general public?
This is open to general public, and matter of fact, there's not a lot of professional players that have gone through here. Now there have been some, but it's not for. I mean, it's for the general public. But what it's for is for people that are, and they call it chronic pain and cognitive issues that at a certain place in their lives where they need a lot more. This is for people that may have been going through other programs that just haven't worked for them, and they're at the level where they just can't explain stuff in their lives. I mean, like I said, this is one-stop shop. This is not just going up the street to your local doctor. I mean, like I say, everybody's here, and this is what you do. It's like going to training camp, and that's how it was explained to me when I first came. The first day that my doctor talked to me about this place, he said, "I think you'll fit in well there because of your mentality. You used to going to training camp," and they said, "Man, it's just like that. You go in, you work out twice a day, you're going to see docs all day." Now, I tell you what, the first week at this place, I mean, it's different because you got people you don't know, and usually there's at least 10 other individuals here that are going through similar problems, so you don't know them. And here you're asked to sit and talk to people. You don't even know these guys. I'm going to share my life with you. And they didn't know I was an athlete. They had no idea. Then once they found out I was an athlete, I actually got mad because I didn't want them to know that I was having issues. But now that doesn't bother me, But that's that athlete mentality. I'm supposed to be stronger than that. We're supposed to be looked at as we don't get hurt. You don't have issues. But hey, every day Joe Blow come down here, man. I met a guy from New Jersey. His name is Terry. I don't know if Terry will be telling his business, but there's a lot of Terrys out there. And he's a huge Giants fan. And Terry said, "You know what, Myron? We have a lot in common." And we did. I mean, he's a bodybuilder. But Terry was in a situation that he couldn't explain what was going on, man. He felt like that, hey, I'm never going to get better. And down here, man, they showed him that, hey, you can get better. There's a whole world out there. Don't lock yourself in your house. Go on and do the things that you want to do. You have to do them a little different, And like I say, guys, Brooks, I would love to see the NFL. Now, I've been talking to people trying to get more players information about places like this because I think it would be beneficial to a lot of people. But the player themselves have to be the one that initiate that first step. I mean, you can't make a guy come here. They have to agree to come here. And this place, they have the right to kick you out. I mean, I've seen guys kicked out because you're not going to come down here and just be here. You're going to come down here and participate. That's part of the deal that you got to make is you're going to give the effort because, hey, they're doing all this stuff for you. But if you're not giving any effort, then why be here? So, I mean, they'll send you home, and they do it, So good player. I think all you guys definitely need to come here, man. I mean, I've talked to you. I know you guys have problems, so.
You know, I can't even argue that because I know it's true.
Now, I can't fix the problem with the Giants right now. I wish we could, because hey, listen, the whole team down here. Yeah, y'all go down there for 3 days. We got to fix it. No, we're gonna bring Brooks to you guys. Yeah, we got to get rid of this losing streak, man. 0-3. How the heck you could have told me that the Giants would have been 0-3? You know. Now you see how I changed the subject there. You know, I got to get away from this. Let's get back to football or something. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine with me.
Are you gonna try to make any games this year?
I'm looking at that right now. I talked to the Giants. I talked to one person who does the planning and everything. And like I said, when I canceled the event for earlier, and she told me, hey, just let me know when you think you're ready, and we'll set something up. And my wife and I was just talking about that. Hey, we're going to try to do some Giant games. And I said, well, let me see. You know, I'm not done after this week. I finish up on Friday. So once I finish up here, then, I love coming to New York. I love the Giants. I mean, I love the Giants. That's my team. But it's hard, man. 0-3. You know, I don't want to come up there when everybody's booing, because I'm telling you, it's hard for me to hear the fans boo. Man, I heard the fans boo. You know, but I mean, it's hard to hear them boo. I mean, it's halftime and they booing you. You know, you're at home and they booing you. I'm like, man, it's hard. You know, but our fans, you know, they want you to deliver, and so I have to wait to see, man. You know, I can't go through the suppression stuff, man. Go up there and everybody booing, boo. You know, I think they're booing me. You know, which I'm a Giant. So, but yeah, I hope to get up there, man. Because we got to get together. We got to do a show at Giant Stadium, because I was hoping that we could do one at training camp, which I think that's something that we need to plan for next year. You know, the Giants
we'll definitely look into it next year.
Yeah, training camp, man.
Michael, what was the game that we were talking about going to, or for the tailgate thing?
November 5th. So
the Rams game.
I think the Rams. I think it was the Rams. It wasn't a good game. So a company reached out to me. They wanted me to give away this really nice grill. So I was thinking about doing a tailgate party and maybe having like a cook-off, having like, you know, all those maniacs who are out there at 6 o'clock in the morning, have a few of them grill something off, and we would have a few judges, if you want to be a judge, Myron, and we would give away a grill. That's what I was thinking. I don't know if it's going to, you know, come together, but.
Well, let me know, man. You know, I would love to do that. I mean, that date seems great. November, because October, you know, my son's birthday in October, so that takes up one of the weeks, and just getting out of here probably take up a week. But yeah, November, I mean, that'll work, and I can give them enough leeway to get some set up for the Giants. And maybe you guys talk to me off air here, and I'll see what we can do from the Giants standpoint, man, and make it a big deal. I know if any other players there, I can get the players to come by. So that's a great idea, man.
Yeah. No, I thought it was something different. You know, it's like this $300-$400 grill. It's really nice. I would want to win it myself, but.
Look, I love the grill, man. And my wife, that's what she got me for my birthday, August 26th, man. She got me a grill. I mean, I'm a griller. And my first time grilling on it was this past weekend. I went home this weekend because they allow us to go. I mean, they don't really like you to go home on weekends because they want you to be in this program. But I went home this weekend. My wife's dad passed. I had to go home. And Sunday, man, I pulled the grill out, man. I threw down. I'm talking, man, I make some steaks and just make you, I mean, you chew your hand off. I'm telling you, man, just for the juice of them. I make some steaks out of this world. I mean, you know, I'm not bragging on myself, but I am. But hey, tell them if I can, you know, maybe have a little cooking. Maybe I can get in the cooking contest, man.
That's what I'm thinking. Maybe I'm going to.
Yeah. First of all, you should absolutely be like the secret cook that came in.
Cooking with the pros. That's right, man. You know, it's probably not fair because I am a professional chef. You know, I mean, in my head I am. The thing I can only cook on the grill. I mean, you put my regular stove, oh God, we're not eating that. But on the grill, I want a grill, man. You know, but you know where that comes from, right? Burger King. We flame broil. You know, we don't fry our burgers. We flame broil our burgers, man.
That's right. Myron, I think it's hard to believe that you were actually cooking at Burger King.
I did. I'd love to do everything in a restaurant. I mean, now, don't get me wrong, my managers hated me working. And it's always held things up. But, man, I thought I was good. I mean, I was in drive-thru once, and I was taking orders, man. I thought I was just rolling. And my manager came over and said, hey, excuse me, Mr. Guyton, the employee said you're just kind of holding things up. You know, they want to do leave drive-thru. I'm like, what?
Myron, they stuck you with the fries.
Oh, you're right. That's where they put you when you can't do anything. Yeah, they tell me how can you go around, with the fries. I'm like, yeah, what do you mean I'm not good at drive-thru? They say I talk too much, because I'm always having fun with the customer. Drive-thru is not the place to do that. You got 10 cars to drive-thru, and I'm sitting there, so how's your day? What? What's your day, cutie? That's not the place to be doing all of that. So they kicked me out of drive-thru, man. Shoot. But anyway, man, I do everything in the restaurant. Everything. I'm telling you, I started off by carrying out garbage. And when I opened my first restaurant, when I did my training, I had to go through training for a whole year for free for Burger King. Which I think they got over them in that deal. Because they told me everybody do that. And I found out later everybody don't give up a whole year. They're franchisees. But nobody knew I was a franchisee. They all thought I was a regular employee, becoming a manager. So, man, they dogged me.
They thought you hit hard times, huh, Myron?
Right, but they didn't know who I was, They know who's this guy coming in here that carrying out the garbage and driving a Range Rover. Oh, there's something wrong with that. He's driving a Range Rover, he's carrying out garbage. Man, you never know, man. You never know. So, it's all fun. It's all fun. But, hey, I look forward. So keep in tune with what's going on there, and we'll hook it up November on my schedule as we speak.
Yeah, no, I think that it's gonna be interesting. I hope I could get something going.
Yeah, we'll start organizing. I got to come up from the south, so I got to plan it ahead.
Myron, are you still flying? Maybe you could pick him up.
That was a big issue coming down here, man. It was like, oh, you fly? I was like, huh? They're like, you fly? I was like, huh? Yeah, I do a flying. Yeah, I actually bought a plane, man.
You bought a plane?
That. Oh, yeah, I lost my mind. See what this stuff do to you. Lose your mind. Man, I bought a plane. It's a Cessna 182. And, man, if you know anything about small planes, a Cessna love to fly. And the plane that I used to fly was just a low-wing plane. And it didn't have that much power. Where the 182 it has power. And, man, I took off my Cessna, and I'm telling you, I felt like I was taking off in a jet. I mean, that took off like, I mean, it only does 100 to 65. But to me, it seemed like I was doing like 300 miles an hour. So now I can come pick you guys up and bring you down here down this one that during the winter. Y'all kick it with me. I throw something on the grill for you. You know how I treat you guys. You're like family.
There we go.
There we go.
Family has met. The family.
We're getting the big invite.
Yeah. You know what? If you're on your way to New York, you just stop in North Carolina. That's where I'm at, and we go up from there.
What part of North Carolina?
I'm right near. I'm pretty much right in Raleigh, in Carolina.
I mean, it's later on the Burger King's there. So
yeah.
I was from Charlotte all the way up there.
Yeah.
I like Carolina.
Yeah. I saw you. When's the last time you were racing?
Hey, you just killing me. You throwing all my stuff out there, man. How you know when people know all this stuff?
Listen, we do research. I saw an article, and I came across it literally today. Was if you won one more race, you had to go semi-pro.
And I did win that race, and they did kick me up to semi-pro. And I thought that my crew chief was going to call in. He texted me yesterday. He was like, "Hey, man, I'm going to call into the show, and I'm going to tell him about your racing." And you have to meet this guy. He's intense.
I did see that on Twitter, and that's why I think I looked it up.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I love racing. But you know how I got into racing? It was Joe Gibbs. Joe Gibbs and I had the same agent. And I used to go, when he would come to Atlanta, he'd invite me to the race. And he told me about these cars called legend cars. Like, hey, why don't you buy you a couple of those legend cars, man? You know, it's fun. And the thing is even, because everybody has to use the same equipment. I mean, you go through tech, everybody has to be equal. And that's what I did. And gosh, I spent a whole lot of money. I mean, and then Burger King sponsored me because I was the only African American in Legends. I've never seen another African American driver, and I was in Legends for 10 years. And then I won a race at Atlanta Motor Speedway, and I got a call from the owner of the track saying, "Congratulations." You know, I think his name is Humpy Wheeler, and he said, "Congratulations, you're the first African American to win a race at Atlanta Motor Speedway at any level." And I was like, "Oh, really?" I didn't care about being the first African American. I just happy I won a race. You know, God, I finally won a race. And then I won 3 in a row. And that's when they told me, if you win 4 races, you know, you got to move up. And my crew guy was like, "Man, we need to stay here so we can win the championship." But you know me, being a competitor. And I didn't try to win the race. I didn't try to win. I tried to come in second. And I won it, and they moved us up. I didn't try to win. Dang it. These cars are too good, man. Yeah, I love racing, man. I always said, the thing that I love as much as football is racing. And I love football. Believe me, I love football. But you guys, that's what we need to do. So you guys come down. I can take you to Atlanta Motor Speedway, and we can rent the track and just let you guys go out there and drive these cars. You would have a blast. I mean, God, you talking some fun. Oh, you guys would have a blast. And we can do that. That's the thing. We know that's what you have to set up when you have to do it in the spring, though. I don't want to do it when it's cold. We have to do it in the spring. We have to put something together, man. We get together once a year. You know, you guys pay for it.
Man, it's all good.
You can't say it. You guys pay for it.
Well, yeah, good luck with that.
I tried to slide that in there, you know. I take care. You make the sponsors take care of it. I know some people that know some people that might be able to take care of that. I'm friends with the president of the track, so he'll look out for us. He like the marketing anyway. So we started a diversity program. And my diversity program, I realized that there's no black race car drivers out there. None.
Yeah.
Zilch.
Yeah. No, well, it's not. It hasn't been marketed.
Right. And plus it's expensive, man. It's very. It's not like we just grab a ball and go out and start shooting. You know, I grab a ball, go out there and start throwing. I mean, race cars, you gotta have a lot of things to be able to race cars. And when I started looking for minority drivers, man, and that's when Burger King got on board to sponsor it, I could not find a driver. And that really pushed me to stay involved, just to try to bring some diversity to the sport. And they have a couple of kids now that drives. One of the kids that drives now, I actually met him when he was a little kid, when he was about 8 years old. He actually used to drive for Joe Gibbs. I'm trying to think of the kid's name. They call him Bubba Wallace. I can't think of Bubba's first name, but his name is Bubba Wallace.
Wasn't Brad Doherty in like the same sort of doing the same sort of thing for NASCAR?
Yep, he actually was a car owner.
Okay.
For I'm trying to think what they call it now. It's just not the Cup Series. It's the one on the. I'm trying to think. I think they call it Infinity Series because they changed it. So it used to be Busch Series. But yeah, he was a car owner, and plus, you know, he was a commentator for a long time. Then all of a sudden, I noticed he went back to basketball. I mean, he's doing the commentating now for basketball, and I haven't heard about him in racing. So I don't know what happened with that deal. Because he was heavily involved. And there were guys like Dr. Pepper. Dr. J was involved, Dr. Pepper for a little while. which was a good deal. That I'm shocked he went away. One of the first guys I've ever seen involved in NASCAR, African Americans, was Reggie White.
Okay.
Reggie, he actually had a partnership with Joe Gibbs, and they were starting a team together. Because I had an opportunity to be a partner with Joe Gibbs. My agent represented Joe Gibbs and some other football players, and he called us up and said, "Man, we're starting this interstate battery racing team. You guys want to join?" Of course, I'm from South Georgia. I'm like, "Oh, nah, man, I don't like people in racing."
Yeah, how pissed are you that you didn't partner with him?
Oh, I'm really pissed. Oh, but not just that opportunity. He called me again later in my career and said, "Hey, man, we're starting a second team, the Home Depot team. You guys want in?" And I was stupid enough to even let that go. And I think about it now. I said, man, just 5%. What was I thinking? These guys probably waste more money than most people ever make. I don't know. You got to go to NASCAR to see how the type of equipment they have. They're haulers, man. It's just immaculate because they're big on cleanliness because any little dust, anything, particles get in those engines, and it hurts the performance. So everything is very clean. Oh, gosh. I love racing. I'm telling you. I talked to Parcells, guys. I forgot to tell you guys. We hadn't talked. I called Parcells about a month ago, out of the blue. Well, my daughter was going to go to New York to do an intern. She's a communication major. And she was like, "Dad, can you talk to the Giants?" So I called the Giants a year ago. She came up there. They interviewed her. They actually put her to work during the interview. She worked the field. And it was great. I got a chance to go on the field, and my daughter was there doing my introduction. So she was going back this year to training camp to start her internship. And she was like, "Well, Dad, could you call Parcells and see if they have anything around here locally so when I get done with the Giants?" So I just called him. And it's funny, he was on his way to New York. He was headed up the first race. He races horses.
Yeah.
So he was driving up. I think he was going to go through Carolina to be the friend, and he was going to go through Kentucky. And he kind of gave me the whole route. And just in case you guys don't know, I haven't spoken to Parcells since he released me with the New England Patriots. I saw him at the reunion, at the Giants reunion. We say hello, but we haven't spoken. And Parcells and I had the same agent.
Yeah.
And he was the one that died on the runaway plane with Payne Stewart. That was our agent. And my agent used to always tell me, "Hey, man, Bill wants to talk to you. Call Bill." And I never called Bill, man, because I just didn't like the way Bill – I told Bill I would retire 3 years when I signed the Patriots because that's, my goal was to play 6 years and retire. That was my goal. 6 years in the NFL, and I was going to walk away from the sport. Bill signed me 3 years for the Pats, and I said, "You know what, I'm going to play these 3 years, and I'm done." He said, "I know you want to be done in 3 years, so I'll tell you what, I would guarantee you those 3 years, man, and walk away." But then he released me, man, with a year left, and it was the way he released me. He didn't call me, man. He had some other cat call me and released me, and I'm saying, man, Bill should have called me. We had a great relationship, and, he should have done that. But he didn't. And I ended up calling Bob Kraft, and Bob Kraft and I talked, and Kraft was a great guy, man. I appreciate him. He's a very good man. But Parcells just never talked to me. He just never called me. So finally I called him up and said, "Hey, Bill, my daughter's looking at doing this. And he was like, "Guy, I'll help you. That's not a problem. So how you doing, kid? Bill, how you doing, kid?" And we started talking football, man, and started talking about what he's doing, and he's racing horses. And he told me what he spent a month raising horses. It's unbelievable how much money this guy spent on horses a month. I'm like, God. He spent more a month than I guarantee you the average American make a year. Well, I know he spent more than the average American. This guy spent a lot of money on these horses. I hope he's winning. But he does it for the same reason that I race cars. He loves the adrenaline that comes with it, the excitement. It's like football, It's this high that you get of competition, and you want to be the best. You want to win. And that's the same reason why I race cars, and I love racing cars. The same thing. and we just never lose it. You know, he's like, man, I'm just not the guy that goes on a cruise, go on cruises. You know, which I didn't appreciate him saying that because I love cruises. I'm like, hey, don't be knocking cruises, old man. But anyway, you know, it was good talking to him, man. Football does a lot for us, man. You know, that's why it's hard to. You see these guys that say, hey, you know, football killing people and doing this. I mean, it's not football that's killing people. I mean, like they say with guns, people kill people. You know, there's a way to play this game that it cuts down on the injuries, you know. But the thing is, you can
2-minute warning.
Yeah, you can walk across the street and get hit, you know. Physical game, man. Physical game. But I love football, man. Love football.
Oh yeah. Now we're running. The show's running down, Myron. Yeah. So, what's the prediction for this week, Myron? What's your prediction?
I have no idea, man. You know, I stopped predicting with the Giants, man. I stopped predicting. I'm scared. Isn't that bad? I am scared to predict. So, only thing I ask for now is that we just competitive, man. I mean, because I just knew we were going to go down and beat Philadelphia. I just knew. I mean, I had this gut feeling that, you know, it's going to come together, Philly, because, you know, they're in a division game, and, you know, and being Philly, because I really hate Philadelphia. I mean, I hate's a bad word, but I hate Philadelphia. So,
yeah.
You know, so what do you think? I mean, you know, help me out here. I mean, what do you think?
This coming week, I'm going to say Giants. I think they got it going in the right direction at the end of the game against Philly. I'm hoping the offense, you know, keeps that going, and it looks like Odell's healthy, so that's a big plus. So, you know, going into Tampa, I think we match up well with Tampa. You know, I'm going to say we win. I'm going to say 24-13.
Wow. You think they'll score 24 points in that defense?
Yeah, I believe in the defense. And if the offense is playing better, I think the defense will.
Tampa got a very aggressive defense, though, man. These guys get around. I mean, there's a linebacker there from the University of Eastern Kentucky University. You know, I mean, he was up for Rookie of the Year last year, Defensive Rookie of the Year. So, I mean, you really think they're going to score 24 points on Tampa?
Well, I think Levante David, which is one of their big players, I don't think he's playing this week. I'm not positive on that, but I don't think he's playing this week.
Okay.
Which that's going to hurt Tampa's defense. But I think we've made some adjustments, you know, and I really don't think they have anybody that can cover Odell. Brandon Marshall was actually catching balls in the last game. And we got to hurry it up before it cancels. That's our hurry up music.
Well, I mean, I hope so, man. You know, I mean, it's been a great game to do it. And it's funny. It's only from where I'm at right now. It's only 2 hours from here to Tampa. So,
yep. They should go to the game.
To go down there. Yeah, it'd be nice to go down there, but I'm afraid to. I tell you, I'm afraid. But I hope the Giants come together. I mean, I think, you know, we got a chance to make some plays on the young quarterback for Tampa. I mean, you know, on the defense, capable of making plays, and hopefully we can put some points on the board defensively. I mean, there's no rules saying the defense can't score. So hopefully we can help the offense out, at least get it started. You know, a big play to start off the game. And, yeah, I mean, I can see us rolling over Tampa, but, I mean, I'm a little nervous about just the quickness of their linebackers. That's the only thing that scares me a little bit. I mean, they have a nice D-line and linebacker core. So, but if the offense can do just anything, I think, I mean, yeah, it should be okay.
Yeah, it sounds good to me. Yeah, I think Marco wants to wrap it up. Marco, what you got a prediction for the game? Is Marco there?
See,
I think we lost Marco.
Nobody wants to